We're right on schedule. We're now moving over to Adejumoke Akure. Let me see if I can get you on stage. Yes, there you are. How are you?
Hi, Walter.
Hello. Where are you from?
Remember me? This is Nigeria.
I know, Lagos.
Yes, Lagos. Nice to see you again after such a long time.
That was really a long time. Actually, that was my last trip before the pandemic hit. I think it was January 2020. Yes. It was just in China. They talked
just
about
the league. Yes.
Yeah. And
just for the league of it.
Yes, that was really nice to meet you in Lagos. So
yes,
yeah, I'm really happy to have you with us today.
Yeah, thank you, Monta. Nice to be here. Hi, everyone. My name is Adejumoke Akure, as Monta said. I'm dialing in from Lagos, Nigeria. It's lovely to be speaking to people from all over the world. Thank God for technology that we can have this no matter where we are. It's such a wonderful opportunity. So some good came out of the pandemic.
Yes, that's for sure. Do you have some slides with you that you would like to share?
No, I was just yeah, thanks. One of my colleagues is greeting me from Lagos. Yeah, I'm just going to talk based on some notes that I have because this makes it makes it a little bit easier. So when the interest to talk on this came up, I was thinking, you know, we're talking global Proptech, and I thought it was important to, in as much as we're all in a small global village, as we've come to realize that during the pandemic, it was important to also understand that not all of us were growing at the same pace, especially in Africa. And so I cut off a topic of saying the ease of providing residential real estate in a developing nation. And I'm using Nigeria as a reference. I felt it was important for us to do a reality assessment so that when you're speaking with other people from other parts of the world involved in Proptech development and products and services, they would bear in mind the peculiarities of our state. And this speaks not just to Nigeria, it speaks to a larger majority of countries in Africa. And it will bear in mind when things are being developed. So my issue was to say, let me start with the why. You know, when the rest of the world looks at our solo in Africa, it's always good to place our perspective on our challenges in perspective, so that when they're betting solutions, it will help to understand the peculiarities of how we exist from day to day. Now, it's important that we examine a few of the issues that we have and find a way of solving those problems so that it can raise the consciousness. I'm not expecting that a lot of those problems are going to be solved here today, but I just think it's important that we put it out there so that when solutions are being preferred, you're preferring it from a user perspective and not just something that is good to have. Because, you know, all over the world, the buzzword is Proptech. But how do you begin to localize those solutions to us so that it's not just for the 1%? It will be solutions that can really revolutionize the real estate challenges that we have, not just as Nigeria, but, you know, for the rest of Africa, so that we can be carried along in this global village, and some of us are not lagging behind while others are way up in front. Now, for those who might not know, again, I said I'm an expert surveyor and valuer based in Nigeria, and my interest is mainly in facilities management and public use spaces like hospitals and development of medium and low income housing for those citizens in those brackets. Now, for those who don't, it's just a very few facts about Nigeria. Of course, for those that know, we are the single largest African nation with over 200 million people, and we are the 7th most populous nation in the world. And about more than 50% of our population is between the 18 years to 45 years. So think strong space, think growing population, because they will be getting married, having children. So those are the kind of numbers that we have here in Nigeria. Now, 7% of most of the languages spoken all over the world is spoken here in Nigeria. In fact, there's one of our states, Taraba State. It has 30 languages more than 30 African countries combined. And we've got history. We've got some of the world's oldest walls in Benin, older than even the China walls. Yoruba, there's some of our tribes where we have the largest population of twins in Africa in the world. Ecology, we have some of the rarest birds, whether in the Jos Plateau or in the Niger Delta. So it's a rich nation of people, of things, and when you touch the nerve of Nigeria, you're pretty well touching the nerve of the whole of Africa. So it's important that the solutions we find from here, we kind of have a way of disseminating it all over the rest of our society. So the few things I want us to look at today concerning the peculiarities in our real estate space, especially providing residential real estate, is the issue of titling. Now in Nigeria, we have a federal system of governance, especially as it comes to do with interest in land. We have a land use decree that was promulgated in 1978 that invests all the interest in land in the governor of a state. So we have federating states, we have 36 plus the federal capital, and they keep it in use for the people of the state. So for you to use land for development, for example, you need to get what we call the certificate of occupancy, which is signed off by the government. Now, the challenge comes when you want to build, you want to build a residential estate for a larger population of people. And the challenges of getting the bureaucracy, actually, of getting those titles, doing your title search, and the cost and all the challenges of the land ownership in Nigeria is very, very tough. There have been solutions of people bringing forward blockchain, but you see, even the idea of blockchain is still up there. It's like highfalutin. It's not really been broken down into the specific usable bits that can apply, not just in Lagos, which is the economic capital of Nigeria, but every other state, because real estate development, as you know, is not just done in Lagos. It becomes even much more important for states that are not in Lagos, where you will call, the semi-urban, rural communities. So we need to have those kind of solutions that can apply to that problem, the issue of titling in Nigeria. So for real estate developers, the process is tedious, it is expensive, it is time-consuming, it is bureaucratic, and it is one of the challenges that makes it difficult for us to be able to develop real estate, residential real estate for medium and low-income population of the country. Because the land most times is expensive, the issue of social housing just kind of goes out through the window, or affordable housing for that matter. Now, on the heels of that is the issue of finance. Affordable housing still looks more like a myth, because the cost of property development in Nigeria, it's quite much the hydra, really. It has vicious tentacles for us in Nigeria. One of the tentacles is the one of titling I've spoken about. The other aspect of it is the one of finance. It is next to unrealistic and uneconomic for you to want to take a loan from our bank at double digits for you to want to build, even if not for yourself, for you to want to build as a business case. So you are a property developer and you want to build an estate, for example, for medium or low income. Because I keep referring to medium and low income because 70% of our population, up to 80% of our population is in that space. So if you want to speak impact, if you want to speak influencing the next generation, if you want to speak sustainability, you need to speak to that space. That is why my reference is on that space. So you have the challenge that you cannot take bank loans because of the double digits involved. Even if you could afford it, the conditions can be quite tough. to take mortgage as this. I mean, all of us, other clients, I know you're great mortgages are single digits, and there are other opportunities to afford it. But here, that is extremely difficult. And it's under, all of this is under the weight of the policy index that we are presently. Though the government keeps, our government keeps making a lot of effort. For example, recently, the government tried to rearrange the ability of citizens to be able to take what we call the federal mortgage banking loan. Before, we used to have the conditions were stringent, but the government has made it, this present government has made it a little bit easier. But even at that, the calculation between how long you are in the work service and how the length of time you have to be able to achieve to pay back is also a challenge. The calculation can sometimes, not be in your favor. But for those who are realistic enough and who want just a decent house, a few people have been able to take advantage of that. Then we also have another government agency called the Family Homes Fund. They also are doing quite a lot of work because they are also affiliated with Shelter Afrique, and they also get access to loans that are friendly, and they use that to develop houses for people in that climate. But for the larger majority, we have a huge housing gap of they're not so sure whether it's 17 million or 18 million, but we do have a huge housing gap, and we have about 900,000 deficits added virtually every year. So it's a challenge that needs some very serious adaptable solutions. Another challenge that we have that kind of affects the ability to the ease of developing real estate, residential real estate, is also the effect of these things on the environment. We, as the rest of the world is talking about green development, green living, we are still a bit backwards in that, because a lot of our dependence is on cement, and we kind of just use the things of the environment. Now, because land is expensive, remember I said to get a title is very difficult and tasking. To get the finance is very difficult and tasking. So when you build, sometimes you build with a commercial mindset without really giving a thought to the environment. So you see rows of terrace buildings. Now, what that does is that when you're building terrace buildings, what you eventually now do is you increase the need to use air conditioners, because a lot of those houses don't even have, a direct flow of air in and out of the property. Now, when you're doing that, as you do that, you're increasing the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So it becomes like, between the devil and the deep blue sea. I don't have money, so that's why I'm building like this. But if you're building like this, you're destroying the environment. So it becomes a real challenge for us in this part of the world. And there's not enough impactful push, even beyond the rhetoric of policy, to push design and build in such a way that it bears the environment in mind. I know what's ironic is this, is that growing up, most of us, we came from our forefathers who they might not have been educated in the ways of the Western world, or haven't gone to universities and learned about green, but they knew how to take care of the environment. If you go to most of our rural areas, a lot of the properties, my colleague here will bear me witness, a lot of the properties are built with brick. A lot of us had family gardens just behind your house where you eat fresh, where you eat green. Now, in the guise of development, a lot of those things have been thrown away. Now we're trying to go back that way and try to use bricks and clay bricks to build. And all of a sudden, I'm wondering, were we really better than these people? So we are fighting the struggle of trying to build an environment that is healthy, not just for ourselves, but even for the environment itself, something sustainable. And then bearing in mind the cost of it and the challenges and trying to find an economic solution for investors and developers so that both sides will win. They will win, and even the environment will win. Now, we are putting up developments that are causing us more problems for the environment, and we need to find a way to solve that problem. And so part of the challenges we have that I hope can keep the ideas buzzing in the minds of of creators in here, of ideas in here, ideation experts here, is to see how can we solve that problem. Because bearing in mind, there is a very important business case for Africa, especially for Nigeria. I hear by the year 2030, 2050, we might become one of the fifth largest, most populous countries in the world. So it's an economic decision to start thinking solutions for this part of the world. Now, there are people, like, again, I go to federal family housing funds that are still trying to build green. They are constantly now encouraging us that we look at the issue of using EDGE. Now, EDGE is one of the initiatives of IFC, an inexpensive way of looking at our environment and trying to build with our environment in mind. And relative to land, relative to equipment, relative to energy, relative to water. And it is something that, for example, the family homes fund have begun to pay serious attention to. So there seems to be some, light at the end of the tunnel for some of our developers, because they are one of the biggest developers that we have. Now, unfortunately, we don't have that enough political will yet to cause it to be, like more of a conversation that is going on all over our nation. So it's difficult to enshrine standards for every member of the family unit. Now, they look difficult. They look, they're screaming values, they're screaming change, they're screaming environment, they're screaming solutions. So we're hoping that while we're speaking here, it begins to, set the juice of ideas, begin to root in the minds of members that are present and begin to see that in as much as there are challenges in Africa's most populous nation, in as much as they look like tasks that we might not be able to have all the solutions to, but it's also possible that with a lot of the things that have been done out there, we can bring those solutions here and we can localize it. And as social entrepreneurs, we can also find economic reasons to be able to find solutions to the challenges that we have here in Nigeria and for most part of Africa when it comes to providing decent accommodation for the larger population of that of this continent. And like I said earlier, because we are a small village and we're getting smaller with technology, it will be important to use that technology to create solutions so that we do not use technology to even further create gaps between the have and the have not. Thank you.
Yes. So are you, thank you very much. I was last week in Dubai, and there I met a company that was doing 3D printing of houses, but they are now starting also in South Africa to build affordable housing with 3D printing. Is that also like a technology that is interesting for Nigeria, do you think?
Yes, I actually saw the story, and immediately when I saw it, I was intrigued and I was wondering, wow, if you can take the issue of the cost, it's always a challenge of finance. If you find a model, I hear some people talking about tokenization. If you find a model that is not that either you could spread payments over a long period of time or it's affordable, honestly, it will work because the population is huge. The population of need is huge, and the affordability from that population is not so high. So you've got to balance it. And so if you find a good funding mechanism vehicle, it will be a very, very interesting product in this part of the world. Yes, very, very interesting.
Yeah, and I think the population in Nigeria is also raising very fast or not?
Oh my goodness. It's like I said while I was talking, and by the year 2050, I hear we're going to be one of the fifth, if not the third most populous nation in the world.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. So
yeah, right now we're over 200 million, and that 200 million, more than 50% of that population is between the ages of 18 and 45.
Yes, yeah, that's
so we have a huge youth population who are giving birth, who are having children, so they are expanding the population. Yes.
Yeah, so that's a huge opportunity for real estate to give accommodation to all those people. Are you still hearing me? Yes, I think it's coming back. Well, thank you very much. That was really amazing.
Fantastic opportunity, especially when you're willing to. We are ready.
I'm sorry?
Can you hear me, Bonta? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. I'm saying even looking beyond urban development. So if you go to semi-urban areas also, the opportunities are there because we're increasing modes of transportation. We have railways now in some other parts of Nigeria. So you can actually live outside the urban cities if you so wish.
Right. Yeah. Well, thank you for your talk. Thank you for your insights on Nigeria, what is happening in there, or what you are looking forward to. Well, we're ready to help you as much as we can with all the different kind of technologies that we see from all over the world to make also Nigeria real estate a little bit more well, smarter and efficient. So if you ever need some help, just let me know.
Yeah, so the future of residential real estate will not be complete without finding solutions for Africa's most populous nation.
Yes, I know. I know. Well, thank you very much. Enjoy your day there in Lagos, Nigeria, and hope to see you soon.
Yeah, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.